every day of my life I ball.
You look absolutely stunning tonight. Tonight is your special night. You know, you've been in the industry for a really long time, but the last few years, you've really just completely taken off. You put in the hard work, and now you're leading in this new film, Till Death Do Us Part. Tell me about it.
Very nice intro. Oh my God, I am not worthy. I'm not worthy. Sorry, what was your question?
Just tell me about your experience being the lead in this new film, and you've worked so hard, I know.
Yes, no, my experience was honestly overall amazing, and I know people say that a lot, but really, it really was the most amazing experience. Meeting the beautiful creatives that I've met and worked with and had the honor to be in their presence, really, and like the cast and the producers and the fact that they just had faith and full trust in me to be able to lead this film, you know, and do just bring the story to life and as organic and real and authentic as it needs to be. I'm obviously, as you can tell, very speechless and kind of blown away. I'm really happy. Yeah.
So what were your thoughts when you first got the script? How did it even come about? Because, you know, Chris Stokes, Marcus Houston, they were, you know, the production behind it. What were your thoughts? What were you feeling?
Well, I read it. They offered it to me, which, again, was just a blessing. And I read it and was like, yes, I'm in. And then, to be honest, I was hesitant right after. I was like, oh, my God, I can't do this. This is too much. This is so intense, and I'm not the girl. And I don't think that they know that I'm not this girl, and we've got to back out. I've got to tell them no, and how do we do that? And then I thought, okay, where I had no idea where this was coming from, and then I realized this story resonated with me so much because I've gone through this, you know, and so through press too is when I just recently started talking about it, but it was a revelation for me literally shooting this. I mean, right before shooting, you know, when I received the script and was going through and like I didn't understand why I all of a sudden wanted to back out and so hard and why the fear was just getting more and more intense. And, you know, we mask our feelings, especially our pain and these dark experiences that we've been through, and then you blame yourself and you feel really guilty and you don't feel worthy, you get really insecure. I mean, it's a cycle of a horrible emotional roller coaster, but I mean, I went through this over a decade ago, but you know, you still experience the trauma, and I was able to close that chapter of it with this, and so I thank them for that, and I had no idea, and so things come around full circle. So I'm babbling, but the point is too that you will find yourself in your moment, and I found it through obviously jumping in, and luckily I was able to be an actor and do it, but that was my shelter and that was my help, and so you can get help yourself too. It's around the corner, it's under your nose, and you have no idea. I had no idea that this was going to happen, and it was under my nose, and I got the help. They were my shelter. There's shelter out there for you guys.
We are so proud of you for being a part of this project, putting it together, and it's such a success already. Tell us about it.
Till Death Do Us Part is a film about a serious topic, domestic violence, which is something that a lot of people aren't really comfortable with talking about, or they don't really know too much about the topic. So I felt like it was important for me as a writer to, create a story that tells the story of a woman that's going through this, but also can give you insight on how these things develop with these characters. Like, you know, people don't just start out being abusive. You know, it may start mentally, it may start psychologically, it may end up being physical. And what we did with this film is really went back into the story and you watch how these situations develop. And it was important to us to bring a lot of attention to this and a lot of awareness to this situation that people don't really talk about a lot. And with October being Abuse Awareness Month, you know, we felt like it was important to release the movie. September 29th it comes out, so we wanted to release it around that month, you know, of October coming, you know, and really us getting the word out about domestic violence, because it's a very serious topic, you know.
And I want to know, is there any personal experiences, aside from writing the movie, that you were able to draw from, or experiences that you had with abuse yourself?
Not abuse myself, but I have a few friends that have been through this, you know, guys and girls. You know, it doesn't just happen to women. You know, it happens to guys as well. And, you know, so I had a couple of, you know, influences that helped me come up with the story. But like I said, the importance in this story was seeing how it develops. Because you just think like a guy doesn't just start off, abusing his wife, or you really get to see Stephen Bishop, who did an amazing job as Michael Rowland. You got to see the psychological impact that his childhood had on him to draw him to this point. The aggression that these men have, or what happens with them psychologically when they become too attached to women. Or, there's a lot of things, a lot of research that we did on domestic violence and why these men or these women get to this point. So I think that was important to tell that story with this.
So tell me a little bit about your character, the character you play in To Till Death Do Us Part.
I play the role of Chelsea. I am the best friend of Madison Rowland, who's played by Ilonzeh. And my best friend is in a relationship that from the outside looks beautiful and flawless, and she's married to Stephen Bishop's character, and he's, stunning. And they've got a beautiful home and clothes and whatever. Aesthetically, everything looks perfect, but then we find out that it's not, and that a relationship that was good at the outset is starting to become frayed. And it's gone from being more than just emotional and verbal abuse to actual physical violence. And so my character kind of steps up and says, like, this is what's happening. You need to get away from this man. And I think it's always hard when you find a woman in that situation, because she may feel trapped. She may feel isolated. She may feel like, well, it's not so bad. I can stick with it. I can, he just hit me once or twice, or it wasn't that hard. Or maybe I instigated. I said something that offended him. And it's never okay. It's never okay. 1 in 4 women in this country will be a victim of domestic violence at some point in their lives. And it has nothing to do with something they've said or done or where they come from, or just like they shouldn't feel as if there's anything to be ashamed of, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's what this movie kind of shows you. Like, you don't see it coming. You are not at fault. And if you feel trapped, you should know you should be able to reach out and get out of the situation.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
I'm great. I'm excited.
What are you looking forward to most?
The reaction. To see how people react to a film, taking a film from script, producing it, and then actually getting it to come out to the world. It's a little nervous, but I just want to see how everybody, reacts to it, and hopefully our message can help, individuals that are going through domestic violence, whether it's verbally or it's physical. It's a big thing that's going on that's not being really spoke about. So we just want to open up the conversation, for people to know that there's help and there's different hotlines and things that you can go about to get yourself in the right place.
Now every day of my life I ball.